Angela. Let's see. You have it recording. I have it recording. Cool. Okay, you wanted to know how to make little townscapes like I have, use the jukebox, and create an initiative list. All right, I'm gonna cover the last two because the first one is more complicated. So you open up Roll20 and you find your game. I have a couple games right here: Zelda D&D, Realm of the Lost, whatever. Launch your game. Launch the game that you're running. The initiative tracker is right on here on the left hand side. It's the one that it's this. It's a little clock symbol. You're just gonna click on that, and then it will give you a list of people with their number of initiative, and you can just plug in the numbers there. Or what you can do is if I bring up somebody's character, like I'll bring up Angela. Does she have a character sheet? She does not have a character sheet. Why doesn't Angela have a character sheet? Let's do Faria. Alright. So Faria has a character sheet. And I think if I bring Faria out, right? Yeah. If I'm pretty sure if you click on somebody's a token and then you also click on the initiative button on their character sheet, it'll add it into manually. So when you're running the game, make sure you tell your players, hey, instead of just rolling initiative like this, yeah, so you don't see it, um, like that, it comes up on over here, and it doesn't go into the turn tracker. So if you click on your token and do it, it auto updates, and it's something that we haven't been using that much. It's something that I only figured out maybe I think Andrew figured it out, and if I had been doing that, our games could have gone way smoother, much quicker, and been really nice. All right, what was the other thing you wanted to learn? Use the jukebox. Okay, the jukebox is over here on the right hand side. It's a little musical note. It also says jukebox if you just hover over it. Jukebox is kind of weird. It used to be where you could find audio in the game, um, and I think you can still do that. You can like go to tabletop audio, battle bars, and Computech. It's basically just free music that you can kind of choose. But now you can drop media files from your desktop or like um, your you know uh, Windows browser, and then just add the songs in there. So like I have the Drew Valley um, song. I have a couple other songs, Biggie Smalls. I usually play at the very beginning, um, stuff like that. And then when you've added it into here, you have to add to your over here to like the playlist. So you can add to game. You can make a new playlist. Um, but you just generally just want to add to game because once you add to the game, you can set it up to be in whichever playlist like you want. So like I have caves and ambiance. If I have awkward scene change, I don't know if it'll play or not. It doesn't look like it's playing. Awkward scene change. I can move that into Zelda battle, whichever. I'm pretty sure that if you do add to new playlist, like dude, just do that. Oh, you can't hear awkward scene change. That's weird. New playlist. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So if I did this, yeah. So if you add to new playlist, it creates a new playlist. Oh, that's not the same. That's not the same. If I don't know what. Just do add to game. Add to game. All right, and then you wanted to create little towns like I do. I've only created one little town. Most of the stuff that I have for the game, I steal from the internet. For like, for some parts, like I usually get a screen grab from Breath of the Wild, or for this, I just kind of drew it all by hand in the game. I would take the little freehand tool and then get um, some colors that I liked, and then I just kind of draw. And I did that for everything. There was this one map where everything looked really pretty. If I can find it. It was like it had all the like the layered avalanche. It might be on the other game, but like with this one, um, everything here is like, this is a rectangle. These are like little shapes I drew with the freehand tool. This tree is also stuff something I drew with the freehand tool, and then I selected both of them and just kind of copied and pasted to do stuff. Um, so you have like the freehand tool, the draw shape, and the polygon line text. It's kind of like your basic Photoshop or Illustrator if you've ever had that. Um, and you really just have to like bind the colors and do stuff. Like you can do for like a shape, you just kind of hold down and you have a square. If you press shift, it will should align to the squares. You see how it's kind of staying together in the squares. Oh god, do I have to delete that? I don't want to delete that. Shoot. Okay, good. And if you draw shape the circle, I mean the square, if you hold Alt, the Alt key, you can make a circle, and that's pretty cool. That's how I made these little token dudes over here. So everything that's like in the dungeons that you've seen for our games have been um, in this have been made with like the shape tools and stuff like that, or I drew shapes out with the freehand tool using the shift. So like for these little I don't know, Tetris kind of like looking pieces, I would hold shift and kind of just plot. Oh, that's the freehand. Sorry, the polygon tool. I just kind of with shift draw a little thing, and they all kind of match up into their like little, um, you know, corners, and it looks really nice. If I gave it a, I don't know if I can select this or not. I think I can. Can I give it a background? Yeah, I can. You can, if you select something, you can give it a new color. You gotta watch out though, for like if you're selecting something that's on like the same layer. Like we'll go over here. All this is on the same layer. Anything that's like translucent is not on the same layer. I don't. This is on the same layer, but the trees are not for some reason. I think it's because I wanted to add the idea that you could be hiding under the trees. But if I was to like select, yeah, if I just like drag that, it's gonna move everything, and we don't want to move everything. Like say we just want to move this little part. It's not really possible, which is really not. You gotta be very careful. Something that I think I do. I think what I actually just do is I'll section off this small part if I can. Sometimes you can't even move it, and it's really annoying. Like that, and then I'll just move everything. I'll move this like little road. To where I want it to be. I assume over here you know about the different layers. I pay for the dynamic lighting layer, And if you want to like mess around with it, I can create a game, and then I'll just give you like the GM ownership for it, because right now I'm paying for Roll20 and I'm not doing anything with Roll20. So this feature does nothing for me. And it basically just lets you do that shadow thing that we had from the level 21 shot, and I don't think a lot of people liked it or not. It was it's kind of hit or miss, I think. Um, but we have the map and background layer, which is the layer that we're on right now, and then we have objects and tokens, which is where the players are, and then you have your GM info layer, which is all this like text stuff right here. And if we zoom in, where's the zoom tool? Right here. Cool. I have to zoom in manually. I'm so used to Photoshop. If you zoom in on here on the thing, you can add things on here that only you can see and the players can't see. So for instance, I have like enemies that are on the GM layers tool, and so like when I'm about to put like enemies into the game, I'm not dragging them out from over here from like the monsters tab. I'm not dragging out orange choo-choos like this. I have them already pre-placed, and then I just be like, hey, layer, token layer, and it's in the game now. So that's something to think about. Ooh, you can move the game with a right click. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, so like I had all these guys set up, had whatever red dude's name, and then he split into the four fractions, and then they all TP'd out, and they're all just on the same GM layer because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it at the time. All right, so that's the thing. A lot of this stuff right here was just me going into the art library, typing in tree, and then literally just choosing which kind of tree I liked the most. And you've probably seen a lot of these trees, so I just like these trees a lot. And so I think on this session I was just feeling particularly lazy, so I just plopped this same exact tree over and over and over until it looked half-ass decent. That was pretty good, but I think you can do better than I did, because we have that one map that took me way too long on was the Terrytown, and I think that when you're asking with this question, you're trying to get more towards this, like, how did you make this? And the answer is it took a lot of time. Some of the stuff is assets from Roll20, and some of it is something I used in a dungeon kind of it's like a dungeon painter thing. I don't know how to use this software very well, but it did take me like 3 or so hours to figure out this mess. Basically, over here in the layers section, each like one of these square things is its own different layer. So there's at least 100 of them, something like that. And if I could zoom out any farther, I can't. I literally just had to make. I think I with the water. I made one big giant rectangle, and I could edit that later. But I did like lines for each of it. I really recommend if you're gonna if you want to have fancy. God, you get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! No, 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 no. If you want to have a fancy map like this, find a map editing tool that you like, and you can learn how to use. I've used this program before for another game that I have also stopped running because it just takes too long as for a Pathfinder game. And I think it came out a lot better. But yeah, after I got all the background information for the map and background area, I then just like looked up in the art library houses, and then any like anything that they didn't have, like the Happy Mask Salesman, Pie, or the Mareep sheep. I just imported on my own. I could do that. Um, yeah. So that was really it. Let me go with that other game, and I can show you what I mean. Like, I think that Terrytown looks pretty good, but the dungeon that I made based off of a Pathfinder thing was, I thought it was a little bit better. I'd like to try to do this again, but Pathfinder is such a bore sometimes. Oh, this music is so good. I hope you can hear this music. I don't think you will. No. This is desktop audio is not on. That's such a shame because this song is so good. The song is ambient medieval fantasy towns sounds. You can just find music on YouTube that's just on like a loop, and you want to find something that's like that loops on 3 minutes and not 30 or an hour. Roll20 does have this has a limit on what you can upload. So you want to make, I think it's 20 megabytes is the minimum for what you can upload. So take care in that. I think it's 10 if you're not paying for the service, and then it's 20 if you're paying for it, and I am paying for it. So this is one of the dungeons I built based off of a introductory dungeon for this Pathfinder module, and I made everything. Let's see. I made everything in that the painting tool I showed you. This, but it's yeah. It took me a while. It was pretty complex, and then like I said, I just added stuff afterwards once I had the thing. I think that like right here, like that's like stuck. Yeah, I worked very hard to get this to not be part of the game. There's a this little square is not on. It's not even in the thing. So I actually might have made the oh yeah, I think I just had a regular rectangle going down. Let me illustrate that for you. Had like a regular rectangle that just went down like this, and then I went back and did the polygon line tool. It just went like that, kind of around from my walls and stuff, and it worked. You know, I can't bash it. It's a little finicky, and you really have to like be careful with it, or else it just doesn't. It'll frustrate you for sure, but it's good. Um, I definitely recommend if you can find if you can if you can cheat or steal like D&D maps. I think that's way better. Um, like something like this, where like you have the squares, you'll just have to like resize them a little bit. So like in the Kingmaker game that I was working on, I had to resize. I wanted everybody like to know how long, how far away something would be. So I took this image. I don't remember the resolution for it, and you don't have to listen to this if you don't need to. I think I covered everything else you need. But I went down over here to the this little gauge to see how far things were. I measured from 0 to, I think, where I saw it right here. It's kind of where it meets up the most. I was like, that's probably like 75. So then I went into here. Oh, we're not on this page. We're on this. We're on this one. Into here, and I was like, I had to crunch some numbers. I figured out what the amount of pixels were. In Roll20, it has each square is equals to 70 pixels. So you gotta find what um, the resolution of your picture is, and then convert it based on Roll20. The cool thing about my the software I have, the TPS Digital Painter Studio, you can find this on Steam. When you export it, hold on, we do not want to be able to do that. Cancel. When you export, there we go. It has a little setting for Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, D20 Pro, Battlegrounds. But we use Roll20, so I think that's what you're probably going to use too. Make sure if you do buy this, I think it was like $16. Make sure you have the transparent background, and you're not having coordinates or a grid, because the grid looks gross. And sometimes you may not get your be able to do the math and get your picture to align with Roll20. So you just want to like not have a second grid on there. You know, just gonna it feels defeating. I'm kind of rambling at this point. Something else I'd suggest, because like I don't want to explain this to you when we're playing a game, because I hope to be playing in your game. There's this weird thing you can do with tokens, where you can I don't know how you're gonna use it, but we've always had like these 3 bubbles. Like when you click on your token, there's like 3 bubbles, like a red, blue, and green. I've always done AC, health, then speed. You can actually set that, but the issue is every character has to set it. So let's say we pop out Angela, and Angela, just whatever token. Let's not use Angela. Angela's gonna. If you plop out any token that doesn't have a picture on it, for some rhyme or reason, Roll20 like does not like that, and so it'll slow your browser down by like a lot. When we're doing that I don't know, that impromptu one shot against Bongo Bongo, everybody had like that kind of like no picture on their character, and we're just like, I think we're using them based off of like what color they were, and that didn't work out. So what I've been doing for the past few games, we'll use Aviana because Aviana doesn't play here anymore. You can set the stats of the character, and I'll bring this over a little bit so you can see what I mean. We have this thing called attributes and abilities, and attributes and abilities basically takes things from these bubbles here in your character sheet, and then it assigns them to locations over here, and this is like where the data part is, like your integers and stuff, like a program. You can assign this information to the token, and so then you can be able to save the information that's on the token to your sheet, and then vice versa. So say like since we use the red circle for AC, you could just say represents character Aviana, and this is the character sheet. This bar right here should be the AC, and then it just plugs and chugs it in. So that's an 18. And then for the green bar, you can have HP. So if I go to health, and you can also just do H until you get there. And it'll say 23. And I have no clue what Aviana is out of 23. We'll put in 23 right there. And if we view his character sheet, oh, because he doesn't have anything there. So 23. All right. And one thing you have to know is that whenever you change something about a token, you have to resave the token. And what I mean is you have to edit the character sheet. Oh, he doesn't even have a selected token. All right, well, you have to select the token and save the token to it, save the changes, and now they'll go back and forth between each other. So like when I take Aviana's token, if I can get to it, I'll move him right here. When I take Aviana's token and I do like math against, like, he took 7 damage. Now it will go from 16 here and 16 there. So now when Aviana, like, we're not on this thing anymore, we move to a different like plane or dungeon or map or whatever you want to call it, the HP will track, and it makes it so the characters don't have to remember what their hit points are anymore. So that's pretty cool. Also, one of the things I did later on in the Zelda campaign was, let's see, does Vito have it? I don't know if Vito has it or not. Or I think Tingle wouldn't have it because he's an NPC. See, right? Oh, Tingle's not there. Jaren. There we go. Jaren, whatever his name is. He was the spy master of Castletown down here. Whatever. Jaren, we'll pull up his character sheet too. So Jaren is an NPC, and I haven't touched him because he was Matt's character, and I didn't really want to touch Matt's stuff. I respect Matt a lot, and I kind of wanted to go on a different tangent that Matt did. But we see that he has 17 hit points. His AC is 15. If we go into the settings of his token, and we assign HP right there, we have to click on it. It's kind of annoying. It gives us 17 out of 17. And then it shows up in the bubble 17. We do his AC for the red bar. And then I do speed for the blue. But I don't know. You can do whatever you want. It really just depends. And I don't know if does he not have a speed? No, he's not. Did Michael never give him? Not Michael. Matthew. Matthew never gave him a speed. It's probably 30. Is it enter now? Yeah. Let's redo that. Speed. May have to do it again. Any day now. Okay, whatever. Alright, so you have all this information here. When we pull out another Jaren, right here, he doesn't have that stuff, because this isn't the same token. For some reason, in Roll20, it won't save whatever change you make to the token based on what the character sheet has stored. So you always got to go back in here and make sure that this is the selected token. Because really, right now, what I just pulled out was this like avatar picture. So this is just an avatar picture. If I pull out another Jaren token right now, and say I modify his health to be out of 20. All right. Out of 20. So now it has this 17 out of 20 bar. Oh, does it do so on the same thing? Maybe they fixed that. Did they fix that? Oh my god, they fixed that. Alright, I guess it's a non-issue then. Because I swear I remember I swear I remember that you having to change that. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so like I said, once you save the token, you edit the original token, then it'll go through. All right, cool. Another thing you can do, depending on whether you like your players knowing how much health they have, this little column right here that says C, that lets you know like what the bars that they have can be seen by other players. By default, only the players and you can see it. The like each player can see their own, and you can see everyone's. But if we were to say, oh, let's bring Aviana here because I can do a cool thing with that. So we set Jaren's token to bar 2, I think it is, right? Bar 1. If I set bar 1 to C, and then say that it is visible to everyone. Do I do that? Wait, hold on. What is C? C, all players can view. Alright, so we don't need that. Yeah, if we do bar 1, C, and then we save changes, you can still see it, but if we were to do from the perspective of Aviana, I believe the control is Alt W. Maybe not. Let me see. Let's take it away. All right, let me find that command. This is coming to you unedited. C as a player. Roll 20. It is Control L, yeah. Huh, but they changed it, I don't know. Alright, well. Oh no, I was using Alt L. So, if you do Control L. Hold on. Alright, it just doesn't work. Never mind. Okay, well, let's see. If you want all the players to see the stuff, make sure you have the bars that you want to see selected to see, and so that they can all see the hit points. If you do intend to use the shading thing, you have to mess around this, and I actually just don't ask for me to give it to you unless you really want to try it out and work with it. This whole light level thing was really buggy, and I couldn't even figure it out. I don't want to play with it right now. I think that has everything that you asked about. If you have any more questions, just feel free to ask. I'm here doing nothing. All right. Bye.